So, good afternoon. I hope you're enjoying your day today. We're going to finish up Law of Sines in this class, and you feel free to stop it and start when you need to figure out what we're doing. I'll change this a little bit. Okay, we've talked about the law of sines, using the law of sines when we have a couple of circumstances, when we have two angles and a side, and angle, side, angle. This is the hard case of two sides and a not included angle, which we call the ambiguous case. And the reason it's ambiguous is because sometimes there's no solution at all, even though you're given the sides of triangles and you're given the angle. A not included angle, we call this the ambiguous case. The side angle, and our famous name, we're not going to use it, we're going to use side angle. I know you're not going to call it anything else. In geometry, you recall that there was one kind of triangle that had some parts, congruent sides and angle in the triangles, the two triangles, but that were congruent. But then you couldn't prove that those triangles were congruent because sometimes there are more than one triangle that you can make using those same sides and an angle. I'm going to draw a triangle given the information that we've got. Two sides and the angle opposite one of those sides. So I invite you to do the same. Okay. And so this, label it A, B, C. And the angle, this is angle 40 degrees. It's got a side opposite, it is 4. And the side opposite angle C is 3. Okay. And we're going to solve this triangle. So we'll start with B. We're going to find C, angle C. And so we'll take the angle and the side opposite that we're given, the sine of 40 degrees divided by 4 is going to equal the sine of angle C divided by 3. Do the multiplication. 3 times sine 40 equals 4 times sine C. So we end up with sine C is going to equal 3 times the sine of 40 degrees over 4. So we're going to use our inverse angle here function. We want the angle that has this as the sine. So second sine, use your calculator. Let's type it in. Make sure you're in degree mode. That would be a really good idea. And we're going to divide by 4. And I hope that'll get it for us. It does. So angle C is 28.822 degrees. And we'll go ahead and label the angle here. This one is 28.822 degrees. Okay. Make that a little bigger so that you can see it better. How about that? Okay. Say 2. Okay, so we've started to solve. That's angle C. Now we need to find angle B, but that's actually kind of easy because angle B is just 180 minus the two angles we already know. We know this one, we know 40 degrees, so minus 40 degrees minus 28.822 degrees. And we subtract and we get 111 degrees, 111.178 degrees. So that's what this angle is. Okay, I'm not going to label that because we're going to be using that angle for another purpose in just a minute. So now we're going to find, the last thing we have to find is, this is B, angle B, is side B for this one triangle. And then I'm going to show you how to look and see if that's the only solution or if there's more solutions. We've certainly found that there is at least one solution. We'll have an example in a minute where there's no solutions at all. But we're going to find side B using law of sines again. So we'll take the sine of 40 degrees divided by 4. And the sine of this angle, I'm just going to write B, sine of B divided by B, because that's what we're looking for. Okay, and then we'll build an algorithm to put into our calculator. So B is actually equal to cross multiplying, and we get 4 times the sine of B again divided by the sine of 40 degrees. Okay. Okay, so we take 4 times the sine of 111.178. You may have that in your calculator already. And we're dividing by the sine of 40 degrees. And we get the side, 5.803. Okay. So we have now solved the triangle. But we have to find out if there is a second triangle. And this is how you do it. You are going to, you have a side and an angle opposite that side. You're going to swing this side. This is the side we're talking about. We're going to swing it over like this. I'm going to make another side like that. So it's like, this is 4 here. So it's like this is the triangle, because this still follows the same givens. The side C is 3. We're going to call this like C. We'll call this C prime, like this for the second triangle. So there's C. That's okay. We're given A as 40 degrees. So we still have that in this smaller triangle. We have the side opposite angle C is 3, and we have an angle B. Okay, so this actually is congruent right here. You see how we can actually have more than one triangle using the same information that we're given. A is 4, opposite A. C is 3, and the angle A is the same angle that we had before. It's a different one. So we'll solve it. It's called the ambiguous case because there are 2 solutions. But what you do is you swing the side opposite the given angle. You swing it over the side the not given side. You don't know what this side is, so you swing it that way. And I'll show you another one in just a minute. And so, just to write that down so that you remember it, you swing side BC to make triangle C prime BC. And angle, you'll find that angle B C prime C is actually equal to C. And so it's also 28.8 degrees because it's an isosceles triangle. Okay, and so 4 on both. And so this is also 28.8 degrees. We'll just round it. So angle, now we're going to look, we need to find the C prime in this other triangle. And we can do that. So we're going to call that angle B, C prime A. We can just call it C prime. And we know that it's going to be 180 degrees minus that angle. It's an obtuse angle. So it's actually equal to 151.2 degrees. So there's our first, this is C prime. We're solving the second triangle. Okay. But let's look at this. Check to see if we have a second triangle this way. Is it possible to have this angle and a 40-degree angle, which we've already given? So we've got 151.2 degrees plus 40. So is it possible to have both given angles? Angle A equal to 40 degrees, angle C prime equal to 151 degrees. We see that 40 degrees plus 151.2 or whatever it is degrees is greater than 180. So it's not possible. So there is no second triangle possible. Okay. Now let's do the next one, where we're already given that there is going to be a second triangle possible. And they give you, again, we're given side angle. We'll draw a triangle here. You're given two sides again and an angle. So it's SSA. So we can use the law of sines, but it's possible that we'll have something a little weird. We'll draw it. And I'm calling this A, this will be B, this will be C. And we're given that angle B is 40 degrees. Okay, so this is the side opposite that angle. That's 4. This is the side opposite, so that's the side that we're going to be swinging to make a second triangle. But first we're going to solve the first triangle. And we're also given that side C is 5. So there's C. Okay, so let's solve that triangle. So I want you to go ahead and try to solve that. I want you to turn off the video for just a minute and then check to see if you've got it right.